G'day everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach. Just going to be doing a preview for round 10 live stream. TDK is out, so I'll be discussing all that. No throwdown Thursday this week. Damo is under the weather, so speedy recovery for him. And no jump on, jump off. I will talk about the 10 most traded and most traded out players on this stream, but hoping Brad is doing well. He's struggling a bit, so send him a message on Twitter to make sure that he's doing well. Wishing him all the best. And follow me on Twitter at Stephen DW Smith, and also on TikTok SDS_SuperCoach. I'm getting a bit of a mass following in the old TikTok page. At the minute, I think I'm on 1,600 followers. So I've told them I'll be on live at 3, and it's 3:14, so I do apologise. Send in your questions down below. This will mainly just be a live stream this Arvo. I don't work Thursday, so just me, but send me a message or something if you want to be involved in the live stream. But as planned at this stage, it'll just be me. We are cooked. Nah, we'll be right. We'll be right. This has thrown a bit of a spanner in the works for my trades, though, because I was going to trade out Daniel, but if Sheasel's moved half forward, well, first of all, if Sheasel has moved half forward, no way I'm seeing him. So Daniel might have the monopoly back, but I've sort of planned out my team to trade out Daniel. So I don't know. It's a good matchup. If you guys are watching, send in your questions. Harley, hope you're doing well, mate. So there was a report on Twitter that Sheaser was seen today playing, training as a half forward. So this BS with his consistent role change, he's not a top 6 he's not a top 6 defender in that role, but it helps Caleb Daniel, which I didn't really want to happen. So that's good. Cheese, now what are our thoughts on not having our lowest score taken out and holding TDK? Flex has made this possible. Flex has been an unbelievable addition to the game, so I think it's perfectly fine to hold. My major concern is that he misses this week. Carlton have said they're expecting him to play, expecting him to be available next week, but then he's got the bye, and I know a lot of people are packed up on the buys. I think it purely depends on your situation, really. Plenty to discuss. Zach Reid, he seems to be fine, but that's scary as well. Flex has been a great addition. The Greek Raven, hope you're doing well, mate. Happy days here. I got Gorn, Cherry, TDK, and TDK was on the chopping block already. Nice stuff. Tell me who you're going to go to. Because I know a lot of people in the situation where they might have one of Gorn or Cherry, but not the other. And a lot of people are considering doing that as well. Max, I traded out TDK last week for Cherry. Good timing. Angeline, hope you're doing well. G'day all. I'll stop calling you Cheese. I know your name. You're a legend of the channel. Zane. Another concern is what if they stick with Pitto too? Because we know TDK is an instant trade out if they play together. I'll be a little mad in a censored version of my thoughts on that. Yeah, fair enough. I am, instead of seeing my big ugly head just on the screen, I think I will share my screen. I mainly use Zoom, so just bear with me for a sec. No, how do you do this? Share screen to SuperCoach. There we go. Now we're talking. How's that looking on the stream? Looking pretty solid. This is the squad. Oh, it hasn't updated. So now I've got to think of, why has it done that? I'll just do regular, can you, SuperCoach? Dark mode's pretty cool. Green's a bit arse because you can't like see the little. I don't know. I don't mind green, but red just feels wrong. This doesn't feel like SuperCoach. I feel like there's got to be. If it's not letting me change to regular, I guess I'll just go to dark mode. I like the OG look. I don't know about you guys. I like the OG look of the app, of just a white base. A lot of my apps some dark mode, but just doing that. So let's discuss what I'm thinking of doing because there's plenty to talk about. So obviously I got Marshall. So I think Bice just goes regardless. Also, as well, guys, fun fact and make sure, just a lot of Gold Coast and Hawthorn are playing tonight, and the majority of players aren't relevant for those two teams in Supercoach. Just make sure you got like a Huswaite or something. Do not make sure you get rid of the emergency sign on him. So in terms of what I'm going to do, I think Bice just so I want to find a way to move on a certain player without. Do I just get rid of Daniel anyway? Because the whole week I've been Bison trainer to Nick Martin and El Hawley, but I think I might just grab Cherry. I think with the way I've played this season, I don't recommend paying 680 for any player. I think I could just get away with it for one time because the only player I've paid above 600k for this season is Sheasel in my starting team, and it would be Cherry as the second one. I don't know. I don't recommend paying this much for a premium, but I don't know. So I'm sort of thinking Daniel's a little bit scary if he's moved back to that seagull role. Would be these three for Cherry, for Martin, for Sardell Hawley. Leave in the comments down below what you think of these moves. Interesting to think about. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about these trades right here. Mildly concerns me that Daniel might have that seagull role fully back, though. And I had bank cash to grab Cherry this week anyway, so I've gotten lucky. Gornar won all season. Yep, very true. Cherry will be the pick of the bunch there. And so, yeah, good that you've planned that out. I couldn't cop the antipod anymore. I think you can still have a good season and not have Cherry, but I don't know. I feel like the game's mildly forcing my hand to do this. But yeah, I get it. I'm going Warner, mate. Banking the extra coins for next week. I'll be 250k with Daniel and Bice out on the out. So this was back. This was back referring to this comment right here. I think that's perfectly fine, mate. Yeah, Warner should be top 6. There's no major red flags at this stage with Chad Warner. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice, Greg. Michael, hope you're doing well, mate. Was hoping not to trade this week, but let's see what the chaos looms. I'm decent chance the chaos has only just started. Decent chance the chaos has only just started. So that's what the scary part is. Zane, the thing with that, if you're planning of getting rid of Daniel, just do it, brother. You're going to hate watch Cherry against Richmond not owning him. Yeah. I wasn't going to bring in Cherry if TDK was going to play, but I don't know. The only thing I don't like about these trades is I'm not getting a rookie off field, which sucks. It sucks because I want to be getting rookies off field. Yeah. I didn't have Cherry at all last year either. Yeah, planning to get rid of. Yeah, like my forward line's already finished. Like that's the thing. I plan to get rid of Daniel, and I may as well just get rid of him now. Oh wait, hang on. Is my background's in reverse? Let me adjust that. Is that better? Yeah. Only concern is, training the forward and in the middle. Yeah, see, he probably averages 100 in that role. But if you don't have him, don't get him in. We'll see. We'll see. There's still a few things to uncover. Maybe it was just an experiment. I don't know. Yeah. If you don't got him, you may as well just bet against though. I don't think I can justify spending 730k on Gorn. Should I just run Matt Flynn? Yeah, Gorn at that price is just insane. I just don't think you can do it. Should I just run Matt Flynn? I think that's perfectly fine too. I know it depends if Bailey Williams gets named, which he probably does, but that's better than copping a 0 in my book. Cherry's run is pretty scary. It very much is. I think he's got one of the best runs for the rest of the season regarding with ruck. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to massively regret it. I think I've been conservative enough in not spending money throughout the season or doing any side swaps. So this likely is my big play. And I get to keep Trainer, who I wouldn't have recommended trading out. Gives me 91k to ideally go 1 up, 1 down next week. And this is my final boost. What's the deal with TDK? He has been ruled out. Mitch Cleary reported about an hour ago. So he won't be playing, and he didn't travel up to Sydney. So was Pitternet, did anyone see any footage of Pitternet in at the airport? Or I heard Hudson O'Keefe, Carlton's third string ruck, has been playing pretty well. So I don't know. What if Pitternet plays well and stays? I do have Sheasel now. I will sit back and watch him, and watching him scoring 80s together with Rao and Merritt. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Merritt, I'm a little concerned about. 48% CBAs? Like, that's bad. That is bad. 48% CBAs. I know they've been up prior to that, but gee, I don't know. I think he's still top 8, realistically, but certainly limits his ceiling. Rao, it's just Rao, unfortunately. Sheasel, pain in the ass. For how long did they say? They expected him to be available for selection next week, but I don't try to believe much of what Carlton say regarding injuries. Carlton usually like rushing back players from injuries as well, so he probably plays next week. Whether Pitternet stays in the side, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a way to rest TDK, but I don't know. I'm just trading. You don't have to trade. That's why we got the flex. If you're holding though, you hopefully don't get an injured score in there though. Yeah, it's stiff, isn't it? Stiff. Yeah, so we'll run these trades. 91k in the bank. Maybe Trainer and Cleary up to a primo. So this will be my big splash for the year. I've been a good boy. And this is how we run it. And I would VC Cherry. This is another thing I wanted to discuss. Is there enough time to VC Cherry and Gorn? I'm leaning towards no. So I might just chuck the C on Jack McRae. Get Petrarca on field, by the way. As well, I've got a feeling Connor Stone might come back this week if they didn't like Joe Fonte's game. So, because I think Joe Fonte has Stone's spot. So, keep an eye out on Connor Stone. He might be returning if they drop Fonte. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, make sure you get rid of the emergency sign on Hustwaite before the game starts. If Gross is dropped, then I'll loop Lindsay and El Hawley. If not, I'll just field Lindsay because I think there's. I'd like to loop here if possible. I'm not sure if it's possible, and I'll loop Carroll and Trainer. I expect Carroll to be playing, right? God, this gives me this. Yeah, I think that's how we're going to be rolling. Hate that I've still got 4 rookies on field, but whatever. Try to get them off next week. I don't mind fielding Lindsay though. But yeah, it's just not great, is it? Everyone holding TDK 90% will say, yeah, he'll come back. He'll come back 100%. And I think TDK will be fine. And I don't think it's the worst player to hold and him to be like a good pod. Because I do have a feeling a lot of people will be trading this week. And I think that might be me. Yeah, I think he's fine to hold, by the way. I think Marshall is a good shout for anyone that doesn't have him. If you do want to trade out, let me can I bring back regular? There we go. That looks a lot nicer. Let me zoom out, by the way. Don't be checking out my history. Oh, gee, I actually pressed history. There we go. I'm not sure if anyone saw that. Downgrade options are horrible. Yeah. Like there's no one. Unless you go early on like a Cooper Simpson. If you don't have Sardell Hawley, that's probably what I'll be doing if he's not sub. Otherwise, we are cooked, chat, if he's sub. Zane, wish Blues didn't play in prime time every week. Could have a chance to see what our lowest score is and see if it was worth holding. Yeah, they're in it every time, and they get all the prime time. They get all the blockbuster games. It's crazy. Luckily, it's not on the. Yeah, my worst nightmare just happened there. Nah, it's all my phone. Zane. Causa, hope you're doing well, mate. Looks like Fisher may play if Simpkin. Simpkin might be. Is Simpkin not playing this week? This looks so weird. Chuck the E on Cleary. Oh, checking incognito history. Yeah, nah, not doing that. Not doing that, Skitsy. Don't you have a delete button? Yeah, I do. I just lazy. There's the amount of shit I've got in this computer of like old recordings, old thumbnail stuff is just crazy. But I know I'll have to commit an entire day to cleaning it up, and I just can't be bothered at the minute. Is trading Daniel the play? I really want to hold him. I missed the marriage boat. The only play is Peatling, I guess, but that's a risk too. What do you? Good question. My only question would be, how much different is Daniel's scoring going to be compared to Peatling? I just don't think there's much of a gap there where you may as well just keep Daniel. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and Crouch is back probably what? 2 to 4 weeks? That'd be my guess. Yeah, stiff if you missed on marriage. Very stiff on marriage. Yeah, I think it's fine to just hold Daniel there. Causa seems like Sheasel's playing mid/forward this week. Yeah, that's what it feels like, according to training reports. So, yeah, that probably drops him down in terms of a VC option. Will TDK miss the next 3 games, including the bye? I think there's every chance he plays next week. Whether that's with Pitternet is another thing. Or whether Carlton just want to go, you know what, have a 3-week break. You've been so good for us. But I expect him to play next week. Just more the fact for me that he misses 2 of the next 3 games. Sorry, not games, 2 of them. He misses 2 of the next 3 weeks for our Supercoach sides, if you hold. Blah X. Well, I think there's a significant gap on how he's been going the last. Yeah, there's a significant gap over the last few games. But if Daniel's becoming the main seagull, then that's fine. But if Fisher is being recalled, I don't know. I think I'm just going to. I think Daniel's fine to hold. Yeah, Peatling is good. If this was 2024, James Peatling would be a very interesting trade in, but due to the amount of forwards, I'm not sure. I think you're just better off saving the trade, Blacks, but if you're feeling Peatling, that's fine. Greek Raven, if Fisher playing, that's meant that Shees will stay in the back. Rewind of Best and Ferris. I'm asking you, Mr. Alistair Clarkson, what a spot. I love Clarko. I won't accept that. No. Yeah. So what it might be Fisher and Daniel down back, and then it'll be Fisher and Daniel down back. Shees will maybe half forward. That sucks. That does suck. Skits. I'm thinking of gambling and bringing in Heaney. Don't mind it. Friday night game, Sydney 14th. They have a good run and only 6% own it. Yeah, I think Heaney's flying under the radar massively, mate. Decent price. The roll's still fine. Like he's flying under the radar massively. So I think he's a good shout. Skits. I think he can do 108 for the rest of the year. I think he's at a good price. Yeah, so many of us had Peatling in our starting side because we thought we would have the role that he's been given. Now he's actually got it. That's why I'm considering. Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, most of us had him, and then, I think there were just too many mid prices in the midfield to get in, and we just couldn't have any room for Peatling. But we still thought the whole time Peatling was a fine pick. Then at the start of the season, he just didn't get the role we all thought he would have. He just didn't get the role we would have thought he would have gotten. But now with Crouch out, he's starting to show how good the research can be on certain picks. So, yeah, that's totally fine. Jonas, how dirty is the Jet pick? How many weeks is he viable for? What cash will he make? Well, he's probably a short-term play. Can he get to 500K? I'm not sure. I mean, he got those scores against Richmond and Melbourne. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. Sort of a pick. Like he could easily just go back. He absolutely played like the two best games of his career over the past 2 weeks. I think he can get to 500K max. See, go. Next few weeks are tough though. It's Gold Coast, Brisbane, Collingwood. Then I forgot who they got after Collingwood. But yeah, it's a bit of a tough run after that. I don't hate it though. Fisher and Daniel in the same back line. Oh my God, yeah. Richmond might win. Everyone's saying, I have a co-worker who supports Richmond. He's like, oh, North are going to smash us, mate. If these two are defending, you don't know. You never know. Tom Green or Dunkley, says Alex. Hope you're going well, mate. I don't mind Tom Green ahead of Dunkley, just purely due to I think the Giants have the best run for the rest of the season with inside mids. So pure fixture play, Tom Green. But I don't think he has a huge ceilings. But I think he can do 110 for the rest of the year and just have a lot of scores in between 90 and 130. And that's perfectly fine. Peatling doesn't score more because of Crouch. If you check his heat maps, they're the same, I know. But I'm thinking of bringing him next week maybe. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so maybe he's just in a good run of form. I actually haven't checked much about Peatling. It's interesting. It's interesting. I might bring Peatling in AFL Fantasy. I only check the app or the website once a week, but never thought you'd say you prefer Tom Green, mate. Yeah. But that's just bad trading from me last year. I can't blame the player. Can only blame myself for that. So that was just stupid. Yeah. I just prefer Tom Green. I think he's a good option. Caleb Sarong has only had 115 only 3 times in his last 22 games. So in the last 16 games, he has scored between 99 and 114. Yeah, he's just gone back to like Tom Green sort of scoring, hasn't he? He's yeah. Do you even bother with him? Because you know that the tags, for whatever reason, will go to him regardless of Brayshaw or not. Surely Bedford might go to Brayshaw if he's named this week. Yeah, I don't know. He's just copped so much attention. It's just super stiff with Sarong. I don't even know if you bother at this point. I'm not sure. He's had a big increase of CBAs though. Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, he's been the pick that we were hoping for him to be. We just ran out of room. Thoughts on Hawks' remaining fixture? Very tough. Very tough for the rest of the season. They don't play Richmond again. They don't play West Coast again. Got Melbourne one more time. Whether that's an easy fixture now, I'm not too sure. Melbourne are starting to pick it up. So, yeah, especially over the next few weeks, it's a tough fixture. G'day, sexy man. Jack, my boy. How we going, mate? What are we thinking? F? What are we think, F? Jack, is it 5 a.m. in Norway? Hey, lovely time for a stream. Thanks, rookie coach. Appreciate your work. If you want to jump on, just text me and say good day, and I can get you on the stream if you like, if you're free. Black's rookie coach convinced me sideways. Daniel Sapeatling, please. Rookie coach, do your work. Is my boy Flanders ever going to be good again? Oh, for sure. But the role's just poo, and we don't bother really. We don't bother. Rookie, I just home to hear the filthy TDK news. Yeah. I think I think I'm timing this stream pretty well. Thank you for everyone tuning in, and very much a good crew in the comments this Arvo. Thoughts on this young fella out TDK in Holmes and young fella. Oh, thank you. I feel old, but thank you. I needed that. Out TDK and Daniel in Holmes and Rosie. If Holmes can have a good run without any tags, then he's very interesting. And I think he's fine. Like, this is 498K, bit of a bargain. Connor Rosie, I do like, and I would look to get him in because he is guaranteed to get defender DPP, even if he moves back in the midfield, which I'm not sure he will. Just keep in mind, though, Rosie will have the bye in a couple of weeks. And, yeah. Do an air hold TDK with bias? You're perfectly fine, though. I think it's perfectly fine. He should be back next week. But it's more the fact he misses 2 of the next 3 weeks of SuperCoach, which does concern me. And it gives me an excuse to get Cherry. It's perfectly fine, though. Perfectly fine to hold. Hold Bice or Daniel? Oofed. But hold Daniel. Definitely hold Daniel Kirsten. Hope you're doing well. For sure. Thank you for all the questions, guys. This is crazy. Zane, as a Giant Newcomb, Hawks having Melbourne again scares me. Yeah. Melbourne are running the 2 tags now, which is just brilliant. Newcomb's inconsistency just holds him back from being like a true super coach, like a popular option. 7:45 a.m. Jay, I love the commitment. Did you just get up or you're still awake, Jack? How we going, mate? Hold TDK, perfectly fine to do so. Perfectly fine to trade as well. I'm not strong on one side either. Julian, thoughts on CJ with Impy out? Thanks, Hawks fan. Yeah, I'm a Hawks fan as well. It's a good cash injection really quickly. It's just an awkward part of the season to be doing it. That's all. But I think he can get to 500K. He needs to put in like consistently 85, 90 for the next few weeks. It's a half-back role, so it is nice, but he is sharing with a fair few people. And also Carl Lehman's back as well. Jack, so excited, mate. Had a huge weekend ahead of me. Norway's National Day going to be an absolute session. Oh, gee, might have to make the fly out, Jack, I reckon. Older 24. I'm 25. I'm 28 this year, mate. Gee, really? Gee, you don't look at Jack. You do not look at one bit, mate. Alex, VC Bont, C Cherry, or VC Cherry, C Gorn? I'm not sure if we're going to have enough time to take, if we're going to be happy enough with Cherry's VC to take C on Gorn. So I'd probably go VC Bont into Cherry. I think Bont could do well, unless Durham does a job on Bont. Sicily can be a top 6 defender from now. I'm not sure. He's in such poor form. Yeah, I think the role's somewhat there. He's just playing awfully. Yeah, potentially top 10, but I wouldn't bank on it. I think he's just had a good few weeks, and Hawks have a difficult fixture from here. DJ Gardner Holmes, sorry mate, got in a tad late. What trades are you doing this week? Are you taking a rookie field off field or upgrading TDK? We've gotten a lot more viewers, so I will show you guys what I'm currently planning with due to TDK. So this is what I've landed on: Nick Martin, Sardo Hawley, and Tristan Cherry for Bice, Daniel, and TDK. So I really don't like that I'm not getting a rookie off field, but yeah, I don't know. I really wanted Nick Martin, so I'm sort of forcing him in. Same with Cherry, and then Sardell Hawley for Daniel, Bice, and TDK. TDK and Daniel will find a hold, especially if the rumours are true that Shears was moving half forward. I think Bice got to go regardless. So I don't know. It's a bit sidewaysy. Haven't really done that much this year, but it is what it is. I'm going to loop. So if Carroll's named with all the Carlton injuries and Bo Allen's not named, I'm going to loop Trainer and Carroll. Sucks that Husway plays Thursday night. But if Gross doesn't get named, I'll loop Lindsay and Sardell Hawley. I've got a feeling Stone could come back this week. My bench isn't looking as dead as it once was, which is good. I think Husway is officially dead, though. I think he's officially dead. So, yeah, those are the moves I'm making. Dad's calling me. He's going to have to wait. Actually, I should probably text him. Michael, you poor young buggers. I'm 61 in July. Oh, my God. No, that's all right, mate. 61. Hope you're doing well, mate. Appreciate you jumping on the stream. Rookie coach, I can't. I've called off on him. Oh, is this Peatling? Knowing Jack, he hasn't slept. Yeah, come on, Jack. Make sure you let me know. Concerns me too. My original trade plans. What was this regarding with? Sorry. Thank you for all the comments, by the way. This is unreal. My original trade plans were Daniel and Hall. Is that Clay Hall? For Sinclair and Box Hall. Left me with 4K. Those are some solid moves, though. I think Sinclair's a really good pick. I really like Martin's defensive forward eligibility and the fact he is the best defender forward eligible player in the game. And that role without Ridley for 8 weeks, they always look to get the ball in his hands. I really like it. Screw Newcomb, mate. I brought him in last week for a 57. He's going straight out for his buy. Fraud. Not my precious king, John Newcomb. Come on, guys. Yeah, nah, fair enough. I was tempted to bring him in a few weeks ago. I actually slept very good, lads. Only 6 hours for me, but it's more than what I usually get. You know what? Leave in the comments down below if you agree. 6 hours sleep feels better than 10 hours sleep. Might be a hot take. Anything more than 9, I just feel worse. Which is sometimes what I get on a Sunday, really. But most of the time, I'm usually getting 6 to 9 hours every night. Now I'm wondering to keep Daniel and get rid of TDK. Just maybe have a look at team sheets. Just keep that in mind. Holy crap, we've got a lot of comments. Thank you guys so much. 60 views. This is just insane. I feel you, Cheese Scopes, and I have the VC on him. Do not recommend. Yeah, what's the thing you guys are doing? VCing John Newcomb. Gold Coast are a leaky midfield, so he could go off his head tonight. I hope so. Go Hawks. Thoughts on Bice and Nevitt, Pharrell Hawley, and I assume that's Jordan Clark. Probably go Daniel and Roberts for Holmes / other, and one of Track, Warner, Rankin. My only real worry at the minute is Hewitt at flex. Let me hang on. That's a lot of information, ZM, but thank you for the comment. Just give me a sec. So step 1, thoughts on Bice and Nevitt, Pharrell Hawley, and Clark. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, they're good moves. Probably go Daniel and Roberts for a Holmes/other and one of Track, Warner, or Rankin. So I think Rankin's the best pick of the bunch out of those three. Daniel or Roberts. Oh, wait. Oh, so is it between one of these guys for one of these guys? If so, I think I'd trade out Daniel. Daniel for Holmes is okay. Yeah. And Hewitt, I think, will do well this week. Alex, who are the remaining premiums you'd like to bring in to finish your team? Really depends on what price I can do to upgrade the side. I want to get to 24 primos. I think the lack of cash gen is going to stop me from getting 25. And I think the lack of cash gen is going to stop me from getting 25. But if I can have flexibility in the side, I think that's okay. And 25 would be sick, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. Especially going down to 18 trades with 4 rookies to get off field. So 18 trades with 5 primos. That might get me down to 6 trades, potentially. I think that's the plan, though. Martin can swing. I'm going to use Connor Stone as a loop as well with Martin. He's going to be super valuable. Those two are going to be having cups of coffee every week just to build up that friendship, because those two are going to be my best friend for swinging players around. I want Sard, but I want Sinclair as my main pick this week. Yeah, go Sinclair over Sard. Sard's not a huge run home. He's just the best we got in a bad situation. Gold Coast don't tag, surely. No, they haven't tagged in ages, and I don't think John Newcomb is at that level to be changing that plan. I would have thought. Surely he goes 150. I hope so. I don't give us any hope tonight. Like, Suns are just so hard to beat there. Fuck rookies this year. Honestly, hard enough for me to keep up with what's going on. Yeah, it would be so tough to play in a different country. I know Josh Giddey plays SuperCoach. He's a fanatic like us. If anyone saw his Instagram story of him playing SuperCoach, sorry, not playing SuperCoach, watching the footy and then having the SuperCoach website on, that's pretty sick. Yeah, it's so hard. It's like trying to play FPL in Australia. Credit to Eno for finishing 47th, like, in the world. That's just unreal. Yeah, I get that. Keep up with the shit. Yeah, we just keep getting punches in the guts, and we have to keep adapting. Playing 2 rucks, Gold Coast playing 2 rucks, so I'm thinking a high stoppage game too. Yeah, will be. I think Witts may be a laid out. I'm not sure, or he might get subbed out at halftime, because I thought Gold Coast were going to rest him. Where he is just nowhere near the stoppages against Melbourne. Was a hard watch. Yeah. Newcomb. Is this regarding Newcomb? I believe so. That was due to Clary being asked. I feel like some of these comments are just conversations with each other, but that's all right. Yeah, Clary, if you have Clayton Oliver, I would trade. I love the Martin pick too. Just don't trust Essendon. Nah, trust Essendon on this. I reckon Essendon have been nice to us in SuperCoach this year. Brad Scott's completely changing the way we think about him for SuperCoach. I don't know about 6, but 7 feels better than 9. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think, any less than 6, I think sucks. Yeah, I don't know. Agreed, my bro. Oversleeping's no good. Yeah, nah. I think, 6 hours, I'm okay. 6, 7, 8 hours, I'm fine. 9, I'm still fine. And then 10 plus is just no way. No way. But you don't want to be doing any less than 6. Any less than 6 is zombie territory. Any more than 6 hours sleep when you're 63 is killing me. Fair enough. Lately, I've been struggling with working 12-hour shifts. Now I have 9 days off from today, so worked hard for it. Yeah, mate, just enjoy it while you can, because it goes so quick. It goes so quick having a break. I remember I had a 3-week break from work during the Christmas period, and that went by so fast. Is Daniel to Holmes worth a boost? I would say no if the rumors are true with Sheasel half forward. I don't know. I don't think so. But you have a good read on. You'd probably have a good read on Holmes as a Geelong supporter. Let me know what you think on him. Sorry, I meant to say next week plan is Daniel and Roberts. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's okay. See how things play out this week first, though, before we overplan too much. I actually love VC Richards as a sneaky pod pick. Yeah, they're going to focus too much on Bont, C Cherry, but I currently have Andy VC C Cherry. Well, I think Cherry's probably the best pick for the week. So, I think I think you can go probably a bit of a high ceiling VC in that situation. So what would be a high ceiling? I reckon Andy's got more of a higher ceiling, as we've seen over Richards. I'm going to have 4 Saints players in my side next week. Rowan, McRae, Phillippo, and Sinclair season over. Nah. As long as it's not rookies, it's okay with St Kilda. Hopefully Ross doesn't continue to do BS with some players. Oh, whoa, I'm fairly behind. Was seriously thinking Phillippo to Daniel. That's a bit sick, but it would get me up to 50k back next week and get 2 upgrades next week. Oof. I think they'll eventually integrate him into the midfield. I saw a lot of forward time last week. So I think that's fine to do. I don't mind it this week. Rook, as an owner of Holmes, yes, it's worth it just depending on time because Holmes coming off the big one last week, he's due for a floor game. It just purely depends on if he gets tagged, I guess. I expect 70s and 90s in the next 2. Yeah, well, who would tag him? Do you think Will and Drew or I don't think Miles Bergman is – sorry, Jordan Dawson's an entirely different player to what Max Holmes is. Yeah, it's a bit of an up and down roller coaster. So if you can cop that, then that's fine. I don't think he's my cup of tea pick, though. Not for me personally, but I think he's fine to grab this week. Some disgusting pods for you here. Thoughts on Shy Bolton and Jack Steele? I just can't get a read on whether Jack Steele's back. I'm not convinced. He's cheap. Then Shy Bolton is going to be very cheap. I don't think I'll be getting either, but I think they're fine to grab if you're looking for really cheap upgrades. I'd rather have him than Roberts, though. I think Roberts is fine. But I guess Daniel has more of a chance to be a keeper inside the forward line than Roberts is to be a keeper in the back line. Nah, Chase, tell them the pod you suggested me. Do you remember do a live? You're in the game, mate. Love watching you get into it when you have a player. Do you remember watching? Yeah. Nah, I wouldn't. I'll never live stream Hawthorn games. Too much stress and not safe for the internet. The way I watch the Hawks. But yeah, I need to do them more live reactions to games. I feel they just don't get much traction though. But yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah. That was a funny time. 17 trades, 5 rookies to get off field down to the wire. So realistically, that's probably using a minimum of 10 trades. And then if you want to be kind to yourself, so that probably just to be safe, an extra 3 to get that done. Then that's down to 4. So yeah, just prioritize getting those upgrades sorted, but you'll be right. Mate, I'm usually a spastic as it is. But when I'm under 4 hours of sleep, I feel like a character from The Walking Dead. I've done it a lot of times, so maybe I do get used to it, but it's just a nightmare, really. Like, sleep's so important. So important. Got to prioritize it. Turner is a no-go with leave back in the VFL this week on managed minutes. Okay. Thanks for the update, Jonas. Yeah, if Sheasel's role's freed up Freeze up Daniel. I'll get Max Hall off field next week instead. Yeah, what's Max Hall's break even? I'll do the most traded in, most traded out players soon. By the way, guys. Max Hall. Guy's been a good rookie. Yeah, he's got West Coast this week. Yeah, he might score pretty well this week. So we'll see. Julian out, Flynn, Bice, TDK, in Vicentini, Sinclair, Liver, thoughts. Vicentini is interesting. I haven't minded the suggestion. It just feels like one bad game and he's out though. I don't know. But at 248K, something to think about. Yeah. I think that's fine. Sinclair and Liver, yeah, it's an upgrade involved there. That's cool to do. Just make sure you get rid of Vicentini when you can. Daniels is a big risk as McKercher or Fisher could be given their snout a workout real soon. Yes, McKercher's been disappointing this year. Fisher, gee, what a backline that is. TDK to Vicentini, if named, and bank some cash. Yeah, I don't mind it. As long as you get rid of Vicentini at the right time. He looks good. He looks like a good port ruck. Jack Clark was my other pick down back, but worried he gets tagged this week. Oh, Freo got Giants. I don't think they'll tag Clark. Have Sarong also, so either one of them will get tagged this week. Might be Brayshaw, Jack. You'll be cheering if Brayshaw's tagged. I don't know if you have him. Jeez, you love a sneaky pod, mate. Don't you get your headaches? Don't you get enough headaches owning Dawson? Yeah, that Dawson BS was just unreal last week. Hey, Legend, what do you think of TDK plus Flynn to Cherry plus Vicentini? Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. Yeah, that's cool. I like those moves, Hawks. I brought in Clark. Think Sarong and Brayshaw are bigger problems. Yeah, I think I've got a feeling Brayshaw gets Bedforded if he's named. I was ranked 23 last week. Gee, mate, Kurt Rigg, you're doing well there. And then Newcomb, Neal, and Hustwaite wrecked me. Stiff, mate. That's all right. Hopefully Newcomb bounces back this week, and then Neal, if they don't do this huge tag thing, I think he should still score well. Hustwaite dropped. Sucks that they play Thursday night. Would have loved to have used him as a loop. Jack, really expecting Neal and Merritt to bounce back. I agree. Brought in Merritt last week using Pryor out Fonty. Yeah. Pryor getting a 95, but Merritt getting a 76. Yeah, I traded out Pryor last week. It's just sometimes rookies are a bit of a roller coaster. I think Merritt will do well. You just really want to be seeing that CBA. The CBA is going up, though, because that was disappointing. ZM, I've had Max Hall from day one. He's been awesome. Yeah, he's been a very good rookie. He'll probably be handy for a couple more weeks. So I could get rid of Hewitt and move Hall to flex, just thinking cash. Don't worry about the cash. Just think about what rookies make sense to move on from, I reckon, mate. So I think Hewitt and Hall both go well this week, but just see the break-evens next week if you're holding. Rank Tom Green, Libber, Dunkley, Richards. Great question, Alex. 1, Tom Green, I reckon. I know that might be controversial. 2, I'm going to go... Then it gets tough. I'm purely going Tom Green 1, just based on fixture. I think 2, I'm going to go Richards. 3, Dunkley. 4, Libber, I think. But I think they're all very good. Not saying that Libber's a bad option, but it's just, yeah, out of those 4. Gardner. Random question, but when are we getting another Friday night watch along? Keen to give this new Vaso a try. It depends on if I can get a VC. Depends if I can get a VC going. So Sydney Carlton, will I do a live stream there? I don't know. I don't think that's good. I don't mind doing the good games. I might VC Nick Martin next week, and we can do a VC Nick Martin watch along for Dreamtime at the G. if that sounds good, guys. I'm going to discuss the 10 most traded and most traded out players, and yeah, just replacing that instead of doing jump on, jump off. Hopefully, as a lot of you guys are watching, make sure you send a message to Brad. We got your back because he's struggling a bit. So Brad's an absolute legend. So if you guys are watching, make sure you send out a comment out to him because he would really appreciate that. Jaden Griffin, is Bice, Short, and Flynn to a Hawley, Sinclair, and Holmes 2 sideways? That's not really sideways. You're upgrading the side. Leaves him with Reed, Ashcroft, and Lindsay on field. No, that's perfectly fine, Jaden. You're down to 3 rookies. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's fine. That's fine. That's not sideways. You're still getting an upgrade in there. It's why I don't like, and it's why I don't really like doing the trades that I'm doing this week. It still leaves me with 4 rookies on field. 91K comes in handy. So for me next week, it's hopefully Zach Reed plays, by the way. So if Zach Reed doesn't play, I think I'll just okay, I've got a plan in place there. I'll just move Sardell Hawley to the back line and do that, I think. Yeah, I think that's the plan. This definitely feels like a week where we need to be on our phones a bit because over the weekend because there's a fair bit of stuff happening. All right. Just give me a sec. I think I got a message from a rookie coach. Or did I not? No, that's all right. Let's do the 10 most traded in and most traded out players, I reckon. I think that's the go. Sorry, guys, just bear with me for a sec. Yeah, I might do a dream time at the G live stream, Essendon versus Richmond. I think that's the go. Been thinking about this recently. Would you trade Ashcroft, I assume Levi, next week to Whitfield? And if he's your best and only avenue to a premium next week. If it's Levi Ashcroft, yeah, maybe worry about that next week. What's Whitfield's break even, by the way, before we start? 123. I think I'll do that next week. Yeah, I think I'll do that next week. Let me zoom in a fair bit. Let's not click on history again. Let's zoom in a little bit for the 10 most traded and most traded out players. Any more questions I'm missing? No, I'll hide this. All right, let's do the 10 most traded and most traded out players. Let's discuss what we're thinking. The number 1 most traded out player is Riley Bice, and I do think it is the right time to move on. So I don't have any issues with that. 102 break even. I get it. He is a green dot every week. But yeah, I think it's perfectly fine just to trade him and get an upgrade in. Number 2 is Caleb Daniel. I wonder if this has adjusted a little bit due to the news about Harry Sheasel potentially playing half forward this week. I think he's fine to hold, but if you're holding, you probably want to keep him at F6 for the time being. And at 440K, 121 break even, he's got a good matchup this week. Then it gets a little bit trickier for him. So I think Daniel's fine to hold, but he's also fine to trade. I don't think he's going to burn you. Number 3, Isaac Kako. We've been waiting for this spike in cash. His spike game, and that just hasn't happened yet. So at 234K, I think he is fine to trade out at this point. I just don't know if this spike's ever happening. I know he's got Richmond next week, but I don't know. He's had a few easy fixtures and still hasn't done much. So I think he's fine to use to get to a premium, but I think he's fine to hold if you want. Number 4, Caden Cleary. I'm giving him one more chance, but again, Similar story with most of these guys. If he gets you to a premium, I think it's cool to do. 5, Matty Flynn. If you need him to avoid a donut in your side, it's not a donut because of the flex, but if you want to have 23 guys playing this week without trading Tom de Koning, I think you just keep Flynn. Or would it matter? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if he stops you from having 22 on field instead of if Matt Flynn makes you have 23 on field this week for TDK, I'd be holding. But you need his money to trade, that's fine. Connor O'Sullivan's time is up. 319k, I think he's perfectly fine to trade out. Elijah Hewitt, I think you can give one more week to, but just because I think St Kilda could be a good matchup. But I didn't like the role he had last week, though, from what I saw. I only saw a little bit of last week, but I just mainly saw him deep forward. And Andrew McQualter continues to move his players around. Tom de Koning, this has been the main question point. I'll do Oliver first. I think Oliver's more of a trade than Tom de Koning. Like, they're literally playing him as a tagger now. And, giving him that big of a contract to use him as a tagger is insane. So get off Clayton Oliver while you can. I think the reason I hold players is if the role changes, and Clayton Oliver's role has changed now. He's still playing midfield, but there's been a role adjustment to him becoming a tagger where he isn't looking as much for the ball. Sam Powell-Pepper can also go as well. I think the break-even's relatively high. Yep, 111, time to go for him. So if you do own Sam Powell-Pepper, he can go. So Tom de Koning, my overall basic summary with him is he's fine to trade. He's fine to trade. I think TDK to Marshall, I think, is a good trade. I think if it doesn't ruin your team too much, TDK to Cherry is fine. I think Gorn might be just that little bit too much at this point now. I think Tom de Koning is a fine to hold as well, because I expect him to be back next week, but he is missing 2 of the next 3 weeks in SuperCoach minimum. So that's part of the reason why I'm moving out. So yeah, I think it's fine to hold, fine to trade. I think this is extremely team dependent. I'll get to some questions before I move to the most traded in. Keep Washcroft. Yeah, Will Ashcroft's fine to hold. Jaspinello, hope you're doing well, mate. Does Husway have a chance of playing ever again in the buys? Connor Nash is back next week. Mackenzie's back this week. I think he might be cooked, and I think he's really dead. I think he's proper dead. He's proper dead now. He had to play this week, I think. So I think, I just don't see him playing anytime soon. He got subbed out at halftime. Clearly, he did something during the game for Mitchell to be pissed off at him. So ZM is backline is Whitfield, Zorko, Sinclair, Clark, Robertson, Reid. Roberts to Holmes could make it look tasty. Depends on how are you classifying Roberts' score for the rest of the year, and how are you classifying Holmes' score for the rest of the year, because I think Roberts could do 95. I think Holmes could do 100. I don't know. It depends on your perspective on how big of a points game that is each week, doing that trade and overall. Have both Meek and TDK. Oh, shit. What do you do here? They're both back next week. Oh, gee. Meek we know that Meek is just missing. He's just being managed this week, and TDK should be back next week. I think I would trade TDK first. No, Meek's break even would be really high. Oh, that's tough to do. Tell me what you're thinking, Travis. Hope you're doing well, mate. Grab Cherry and Holmes or Romo and Green. I think. Yeah. I think I might. I think Cherry and Holmes. But that's a tough call to make. Logan, hope you're doing well, mate. Would you rather do Bice and TDK to Sinclair and Filippo, 140k in the bank, or Daniel and TDK to Cherry and Pooh, 50k in the bank? Feels smart to grab R1. I think I'll do Cherry and Pooh. Oh wait, no, Bice. So you can't use Bice to get Cherry. Oh, that's tough because it means you have to trade. I don't know. I think I'll do Cherry and Pooh. I think. But go with your gut feel, Logan, because I don't have a clear answer for you, unfortunately. Trading Meg to Cherry and bringing Ford as an R3. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool to do. Yeah, Meg's break even would be insane. Ford as an R3. Yeah. I can make the argument to get Cherry to TDK to Cherry, but going to 730, I can't. I don't think I can do anything above 700. Like, that's just crazy. I think just get Marshall if you don't have Gorn. Jonas, Bison, Cleary to Sinclair and Simpson, or TDK to Sinclair? I would do Bison, Cleary to Sinclair and Simpson, I think. I think I'd do that and just hold TDK in that situation. Grab Gorn, Sinclair, El Hawley, trade TDK, Bice Daniel to do it. Cheers, mate. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd do that. I don't really like paying 700 plus for Gorn. Could you just grab Marshall, Bragg? I don't know. I just don't know if I can just justify paying 730k for Gorn. I don't know. Maybe grab Marshall. I don't know. It's hard to say. I wouldn't be against it, I guess. Who do we get if I already have Cherry but no Gorn? Talking about TDK, by the way. If you haven't got Marshall, that's the avenue I'd go for. DJ Gardner Holmes, Bailey McDonald. Okay, Bailey McDonald's appeared in the chat. Played 3 games and his price hasn't moved yet. His break even's going down. What's happening there? He's just sub every week. He's just currently being the sub every week. His job security is very poor. Vela Magic getting Sinclair in for Daniel. Yep, that's cool. Would you bring in Dunkley, Noah Anderson, or Tom Green in for TDK? Can move Marshall to R2 from flex. I would grab Tom Green out of those 3. Maybe I'm just a huge Tom Green advocate, but I really like Tom Green, and I'm tempted to grab him, but not yet. Alex, Frank, Green, Libba, Richards, Dunks. I think I already did this for you, Alex, but I said Green 1, Richards 2, Dunkley 3, Libba 4, but I think they're all very good options. So not saying Libba's a bad option, but not saying Libba's a bad option, just out of those 4, I think that's how I'd rank it. Stuart J. Fraser, hope you're doing well, mate. Thoughts on O'Halloran from GWS making about 40k playing next 2 games? I don't know. I just don't think it's secure enough of a job, of a role for him to stay in the side. So probably, I don't know. I don't think he's good enough to grab. Zane, are you any brave enough to go the Port Guy Vizentini, or however you spell it? I think he nailed the spelling, by the way. Yeah, I actually think it's actually fine. I think as long as he keeps playing well, I think he stays in the side. But I don't think he's that bad of an option. See with teams though. But I actually don't mind Vizentini as an option. Are we trading TDK? I am. I think I am. It's purely team dependent though. Michael, TDK to Cameron. Darcy Cameron. I don't mind it. I don't think there's an amazing amount of upside though in Supercoach wise, but he is a very good ruckman. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's okay. I probably prefer Marshall though, because they're banking more money, really. Hey man, can you check out the team for me? Liam's team rank 12. 832. Yeah, after the stream I will. Just text me on my Twitter, Stephen DW Smith, I think. I can do that just after the stream. JCR, Daily Bale gets one more game at Marvel. Yeah, I saw that. So they moved the Adelaide round 18 clash to Marvel due to the redevelopments and the poor crowd at Ballarat. I wonder how it's going to look. I reckon it'll look pretty good. I wouldn't mind going to a Ballarat game one day. I think it'd be good fun. So that really helps Dale. Less wind to worry about. Yeah, so I'm feeling a little bit better about Bailey Dale now. Yeah. Hippo, hope you're doing well, mate. I love your work as always. Any time frame? Any idea on the time frame for TDK? Well, I know he's missing this week. Carlton said on their Twitter page that he's expected to be available for round 11, but then he's got the round 12 bye, so it sounds like it's just a 1 week thing, but never know. So I think he misses 2 of the next 3 weeks for Supercoach. Frag, fair man. You really reckon the cash saving by getting Marshall is better than having Gawn? He's expensive, but Gawn's are one or two. I just don't think I can pay that much money for a player. I don't know. If you haven't got Marshall, I think that's just better doing saving the cash. Gawn usually in past seasons goes a lot worse in the second half of the season. So I think Marshall, I just prefer TDK to Marshall. I don't know. I don't think Gawn can be going this good for this much longer, right? He's in extreme form, but I don't know. I think he'll eventually drop back down in price, where Cherry, who knows, he's in the prime of his career with an extremely good run for the rest of the season. Who do I trade for him? I've got Marshall flex. Okay. This is regarding TDK. He's already got Marshall. So I assume. So maybe just assume you've got. So I think he's got TDK, one of Cherry and Gawn. Here's TDK, one of Cherry and Gawn. Let me know what. Thanks for the question, but it's very vague, so I don't really. Tell me what you're thinking. If you're still watching, tell me what you're thinking of doing, and I'll see if I agree with it. Proficient, hope you're doing well, mate. Text me on Stephen DW Smith on Twitter. Just let me know what you're thinking, and I'll reply to you after the stream. Proficient, just got enough to go TDK to Gawn if I downgrade Hewitt to El Hawley. Oof. I don't know. Again, I just don't know if I can pay that much for a player. If it feels right, then sure, but I don't know. It's just a lot of money to pay for a player. As long as you can finish the side, I think that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I know I'm not giving good answers regarding Gawn. I don't know. I just don't know if I'd do it. I just don't know. Weave, do you think if you have Gawn and Cherry already, Sinclair for TDK is good? Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine, mate. CJG, hey SDS, hope you're doing well, mate. I work at Mars Stadium. Gee, there we go. We've got a worker at Mars. So a little bit disappointed about today's news, but the redevelopments should be looking good. Still don't know what to do with Lloyd Make. Currently have Cherry and Flynn at flex. Yeah, that would be disappointing because I think it's very good, and Ballarat absolutely deserves to be getting a couple of games. So I think it. Hopefully, it's looking really good. Thank you for the 79 viewers, by the way. That's just insane. Still don't know what to do with Lloyd Meek. I would be maybe Meek to Marshall. I don't know. Meek will just miss 1 week though, and also I think, and don't worry about Ned Reeves. That they will never play together. I don't know. Just yeah, that's tough. Yeah, because usually 1 week injuries we don't usually trade. Paul Allen thinking of keeping Daniel due to Sheasel training mid forward. Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine as well because you got Richmond and then Sheasel might be playing half forward midfield this week. TDK and SPP to Warner and Sinclair. Great moves. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. TDK and SPP to two premiums. I think that's cool. Cameron, thoughts on TDK to Visentini if I've already had Sardell Hoy's my downgrade to fund Sinclair? Yeah, that's cool. That is perfectly fine. I reckon. Because I think Visentini can stay in week to week, and if he gets dropped next week, you can move to someone else, or you can just buy flip. Really, I think any solo ruck should have the ability to get to 400k. Any solo ruck, if you're purely solo ruck, regardless of who you are as a player, any solo ruck should be able to get to 400k. So I think that's fine. CJG, I'm thinking of going Meek to Gorn and Flynn to El Hawley. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not giving really good answers on Gorn. I just wouldn't know what to do in that situation because it's Max Gorn and you don't have to worry about it again. But paying 735 is crazy. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm not giving clear answers on that. Stuart, can Peatling from the Crows keep up the good scoring considering his price? Yeah, I think it's possible. But depends on role when Crouch comes back, I think. But I do also think there's better forwards out there than Peatling. But there's been a spike in his scoring. CJG, even though Meek will be back the following week, break even of 207, it's that bad? Yeah, Jay. So for any Meek owners, I'd probably be trading now at this point. Yeah, I think I would be trading Lloyd Meek. Jin, thank you for the kind words there. Loving the stream. Thinking TDK and Bice to Sinclair and Warner, but leaves them with 0 cash. Want to start banking for round 13 Bonton Butters. I wouldn't worry about Bonton Butters. I don't know. They're not highly owned. They're just not highly owned. Where it's not killing us not having them. I think TDK and Bice to Sinclair and Warner are great moves this week. Worry about it down the line. Obviously, worry about Bonton Butters if they can get to 600k. But I think those are perfectly fine moves, and I'll just roll with it and see what presents next week. Jin, Paul Allen, who would you field out of Davidson, Lindsay, and Hewitt? Paul, if you can, I'd be trading Davidson first off. But if you got to keep him, that's fine. Davidson, Lindsay, and Hewitt. If you could loop, that'd be great. I think I would field Davidson out of those three if you're keeping him. Second, Hewitt. Third, Lindsay, I think. I think that's how I'd do it. Let's talk about the most traded in players and give my overall summary of these lads here. Oh, I'll tell you what, guys, before I start, I don't know how people do streams for like 4 hours because my brain's already muffled due to all the SuperCoach thinking. HHFC forever. Who would you trade between Bice and Flynn? I'd be trading Bice. Do you highly recommend getting rid of TDK? Not highly, no. But I think he's fine to trade. I think he's fine to hold. No, I and do you reckon I should? And do you reckon I should have a ruck in my flex? Can if you want. They don't get tagged. The third highest averaging ruck will probably out average the 9th best midfielder, the 7th best defender. Really? How do you think we'll play against Gold Coast tonight? I don't think I'll have. I don't have much hope. No, I think this could be a smashing. But hopefully I'm proven wrong. But I think Gold Coast win the night. But hopefully I'm proven wrong. I don't think it'll be a good watch tonight, but we'll see. Bison TDK out. Tom Green and Sinclair in. Thoughts? Yeah, they're good moves. They're good moves. As I've said a few times in this stream, Tom Green has the best. GWS have the best run for the rest of the season regarding inside mids. I think Tom Green's more of a fantasy player, but I think every week he should score between 90 and 130 every week. So I think he'll be super consistent, and I think Sinclair's perfectly fine as well. I think Sinclair's perfectly fine. What's up, Hippo? Yeah, the great man's in the comments, gents. Daniel Green. Oh, gee, we're getting the celebrities in too. Daniel Green, Steve Smith. Yeah, good. I'm going a little rogue this week with my trades. I'm holding Bice, but I'm going out Jaden Short, Caleb Daniel. Yep, Dunkley, Sardell Hooley, 333K in the bank for next week. Hopefully a double upgrade. Sounds good with me. My only problem with this would be that you're trading out two solid on scoring options, and you're removing a solid on scoring option for a rookie. But I think they're fine to do. Steve, have a few stubbies and keep the stream rolling. Oh, I've got work tomorrow. I might have to though. I trimmed the beard, so feeling nice. Yeah. No, I don't drink. I don't drink the day before work. If you could only trade two from Flynn, Bice, TDK, who would it be? It'd be probably be Bice and TDK if it means Flynn can have you having 23 23 players on field this week. Cheers, mate. What trades are you planning on doing? Oh, yeah. So since we got 87 viewers, which is just insane. So thank you all so much. Probably a lot of you guys wouldn't have seen what trades I'm thinking of doing. And once this loads. Oh, geez. SuperCoach just crashed. Oh, there we go. This is what I'm thinking, mate. Nick Martin, Sardell Hawley, and Cherry for TDK, Daniel and Bice. As I've mentioned before in the stream, I don't like the fact that I'm not getting a rookie off field here, but I don't know. Cherry with an extremely good run for the rest of the year. Nick Martin, I'm in love with as a pick, so I'm going Nick Martin. The fact he's a defender forward, the best defender forward in the game. Him and Stone will be best friends for the rest of the season, so they'll be good for flexibility in the side for the remainder of the year. And the fact that they just keep trying to get him the ball. No Jordan Ridley. He seems to have the monopoly of trying to get of being given the ball. So I do really like Nick Martin, and I plan having him in my back line since my forward line's already complete. Bice, I'm happy with moving. Daniel, I'm not in love with moving, especially due to the fact that they've got Richmond and he might be getting that half back roll back. like fully, with Sheasel moving half forward midfield potentially this week. But I've already completed my forward line here. So it's like with the 121 break even, it's not much point holding on. If he's my avenue to get Cherry, that's cool. And then Sardell Hawley, I don't know, best of a bad bunch. Then I guess I'm getting Cherry. I don't like paying $680 for a player, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. Benny G, first time caller, long time listener. Hope you're doing well, mate. I appreciate the support here. Would you keep TDK if it means Flynn? If it means playing Flynn this week? If Flynn stops you, if Flynn is the reason you're fielding 23 players, I'd be doing that. Yes. A lot of people are going early on Simpson. Worth the risk. I don't like going early on rookies. I think you guys know my feeling that, but it's a really bad bunch of rookies at the minute. Where if you already have Sardell or Hawley, I think it's perfectly fine to do. Sorry. Would you consider a Callahan VC against Frere if you were an owner? Yep. But I do think there's a lot of good options on the Sunday. Rankin, McRae, and Chris. Yeah, no. I think Callahan's a very solid option for a bit of a pod VC. Only fielding rookies, Bice Trainer, Zach Reed, and Max Hall, so not so terrible. Yeah, that's cool. That they're all good rookies to have on field as well. How has Zach Reed pulled up after the knee to his back? We haven't heard any extra news, but we have heard it sounds like he's going to be fine. I think it sounds like he's going to be fine, but yeah, make sure you stay on your phone just in case he's a late out, but I assume he's okay. Do I reckon I could pull the VC Newcomb tonight? Gold Coast do leak points to midfielders, so I don't think it's a bad shout. But Newcomb's a good VC to have because he has such a high floor. He has such a high ceiling but a low floor. Where if it doesn't pay off, yeah. So it sounds like Zach Reed's good to go, and I think VC Newcomb's okay. Yeah, hope so. Hope so. We assume so. I do love the Nick Martin pick. Wanted him for 4 weeks, but just didn't want to break my already broken team structure. That's all right. Look, it's a bit of a pod. I actually don't know how many people have brought him in. 1,800 coaches. Yeah, so I know I'm picking Martin over Sinclair, but I just like the flexibility going forward. All right. We'll finally do the 10 most traded in players. Sorry. Number one, Sardell Hawley. Best of a bad bunch, as I've mentioned. He's the best of a bad bunch of rookies at the minute. So if he's not if you don't have him, I think it's fine to bring in. Jack Sinclair, best pick of the bunch in terms of defenders. I think he's perfectly fine to trade in. Bottomed out in price, and Saints have a good run coming up. 3, Boxall. We haven't talked much about Boxall. I think he's getting dropped. I think he's getting dropped tonight. So I would be prepared for that. If not, guess keep and bring him in. And I might do it if he's named and Sardell Hawley sub. I think I might swap to Boxall, but I'll give it some thought. But I think he's getting dropped tonight. 4, Jed Buse, no. just no. No. Don't bring in Jed Buse. I don't think I have to say much more. I'd rather grab this man if you don't have him. I'd rather go early on a rookie than Jed Buse and save yourself 50K for a guy who's got better potential of scoring. So, no, I wouldn't bring in Jed Buse. If you have Sardell Hawley already, if Boxall's dropped, I think Simpson's fine to grab as well. But it's not nice going early on a rookie. Zorko, with Kadeen Coleman back soon, I think I prefer Sinclair, but I think Zorko could be cool. Got a good matchup this week against Melbourne, so I think that's okay. Number 7, Cheng Kuth Jiath. A little cash grab play, don't mind it. But I don't know, it's just a weird time of year to be doing this move. But he should be able to get to 500K if he's not an idiot over the next couple of weeks. And if he doesn't pull a Bailey Humphrey. should be able to get to 500k. So, but with Carl Amon back, he scored those good scores with against Melbourne and Richmond. I don't know. It's not my pick, but something to think about, I guess. Number 8, Archer Daywicks. Well, first off, hopefully he gets named. Second of all, if he can just deliver a 60, we'll take that as a rookie. We'll take that. And with DPP, I think that's very handy to have. So I wouldn't bring him in this week, but hopefully he can be a rookie for us in the future. Number 9, Josh Dunkley. Yeah, I guess he's bottomed out. I don't like the SuperCoach pie of scoring of Josh Dunkley when you've got Will Ashcroft, Hugh McCluggage, Lachie Neale. It just limits your ceiling a fair bit. But Dunkley should be is a cheap mid downgrade, so guess I don't mind it. And he's got the last buy, which does help, so that's something to think about. Because you probably want to avoid bringing in players that have got the buy in a couple of weeks, except this man, Tristan Cherry. If you're willing to pay $680,000 for a player, that's up to you. I think I'm doing it. So, yeah, he's got such a good run for the rest of the year. Tristan Cherry, I think he's R1 for the rest of the year. I know some people will say Gawn, but Gawn had his good fixtures a little bit earlier than Cherry. Cherry had a very tough run to start the year. Now it's a very good run for the rest of the season. 680k. I would personally do Marshall before Cherry or Gawn to bring in, but if you have Marshall, I think Cherry. I think it's more justified paying this money for Cherry than it is for Gawn, in my personal opinion. So, yeah, go for it. Also, just keep in mind if you've been holding a lot of players as well. If you've been holding a lot of your players throughout the season, just make sure if you're bringing Cherry, just make sure that you can get your side finalised before the season's done. If you can, go Cherry. All right. Hey, just advice. We've got 18 trades left and use my last boost. We've got TDK for Liam O'Connell, Bice to Nick Martin and Kako. Wait, sorry. Let me read this again. I've got 18 trades left and use my last boost. I'm in the exact same boat. TDK for Liam O'Connell. So I guess that's a rookie. Bice to Nick Martin. That's cool. And Kako to Dale, one rookie left. One rookie left on field. And it's Zach Reid. What? I didn't even know that was possible. One rookie left on field. That is unbelievable, mate. If you're getting one rookie left on field, then that's totally cool. Yeah, you've got the ability to do that. Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. One rookie left on field is unbelievable. And it's Zach Reid. So yeah, mate. Do you even need advice the way you're going? What to do if I'm getting rid of TDK and already have Cherry? I have Rowan Marshall. Ugh. So you have Marshall, you have Cherry. Maybe. Maybe just hold. I don't know. So I assume you don't have Gawn. I just don't know if it's worth it. Maybe just hold. I think Bon. Anyone holding TDK already got Cherry and not paying up for Gawn. Yeah, you could do TDK to Marshall. That's fine to do, but I think it's perfectly fine to hold or trade TDK regarding your team. Alex, worth using last boost to trade in Rao to? Nah, I don't think that's worth it. I don't think the amount of points is much better than. Yeah, I think I would hold the last boost. I don't think that's worth a boost, especially a Dunkley or Green. I don't know how many extra points you're getting each week with that. Sorry, I've got trainer flex, so that would be a lot. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. 2 rookies. But 2 rookies is still very impressive. And that's still very handy to have. So 2 rookies left on field. That's cool. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. That's still okay. Jonas, made up my mind. TDK has to go for Sinclair. Can't risk him missing 3 weeks in a row. 2 is bad enough. Will monitor Byzantini. I hope to bring him in next week. Yeah, that's a good thought process, Jonas. Yeah. I think he'll play next week. But 2 out of 3 weeks of Supercoach missing is not ideal though with TDK. So if you're holding, you've got to commit to that, and that's totally fine. I would get rid of if you're planning to buy flip TDK, I'd probably just get rid of him this week anyway. Yeah, that's just my thoughts. That's cool. Rail is a bit of a spud though. Yeah, but at least he's at least he paid him to be a premium. The role hasn't changed. He just is in a bit of a slump. How about going Giath instead of El Hawley? It leaves me 101 in the bank, and I think I make money fast, and also flip him at the buy. Yeah, as long as you're upgrading the side, Daniel, I think that's cool. I guess I'm not in love with the CJ pick though. So if going to El Hawley instead can help your upgrade cadence, I think that's cool. Everyone consider not bringing Marshmallow at flex as Byzantini could be the power play next week. I'd just do Marshall anyway. Byzantini might not be the play. So I wouldn't worry about it. I think a lot of people will be in situations next week to not have room to get in Byzantini. I really like Rowan Marshall at that price, so I think that's fine. Give your 3 to 4 premiums. Give your premiums 3 to 4 weeks. Happens a lot, like Tom Green last year and Rosie. It's happened a lot this year as well. I think you bought Rao being a premium. I think I'll just hold it at this point, really. I think I might wrap this up soon if that's all right, guys. I think I might wrap this up fairly soon. Was it 4:45? Been streaming for an hour and a half, which is probably better than average. Yeah, I just can't do big live streams. I don't know, but I really appreciate all the viewership, and I think it's a good time to do it. So, yeah, I think we'll wrap it up. Actually, I do appreciate all the support, guys. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Stephen D.W. Smith. Also on TikTok, SDS_SuperCoach. Just make sure about that. Thank you guys all so much for the big stream. 88 views is insane. I think we got to like 93 viewers, which is just insane. So thank you all so much for the stream. Text me on Twitter if you've got any questions, or on TikTok, SDS_SuperCoach. Thank you all for tuning in. I do appreciate it. And best of luck for this week. Make sure you get rid of the E off Henry Hustwaite, because I assume there's not many other options this week. If you do want, make sure you tune into SuperCoach Sword Play stream if you want to talk more SuperCoach on YouTube. So that starts at 6:20. Appreciate it, guys. Hope you have a good week in SuperCoach, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Have a good one.